Hi everyone, you've got the Lapbook lady here. I've had a lot of people asking questions about what a Lapbook is and what they can use it for and all the different ways they go together and that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd do this explainer video just to give you guys an overview of what a Lapbook is and what it's for. Lapbooks come in 3 different formats. There's the traditional, just open the folder, your title goes on the front, the information goes inside. Typically I use this when there's 2 very distinct sections in a unit. Then I'll use this part. Most of the Lapbooks come in this Trifold Setup. So the folder starts like this, and then you fold it like this and put your title on. There's an explainer video about how to do this on my YouTube channel too, if you're curious about that. In very rare circumstances, I think I've only got 2 or 3 of them, the information in a unit will be so broad that I will do a double Lapbook. So basically, I call it a double Lapbook because it's 2 folders stapled together. Sorry. But actually it's 3 because you've got a section there, a section there, and a section there with your title going on the front. So those are the 3 different formats I use. For the most part, all I have done is socials and science just because it's the most conducive to Lapbooks. So you have like the Iroquois Confederacy, First Nations of Canada, Athenian democracy, like there's a lot of them. Most Lapbooks will come with this digital map kind of thing, so you can give this to your students if you want, or just see for yourself kind of where the different foldables go on the folder. Each foldable is a different kind of way to present or carry the information. There are hundreds of them. There are so many different ways to do this. A lot of them will have vocabulary words, information about different people, research opportunities, group work. There's just so many different ways that you can use these in your classroom. I initially started doing them out of desperation because I was frustrated with the lack of resources available to Alberta specific content and curriculum. So I started creating them for my own classrooms and was really impressed with how well they worked with my students' ability to retain information. As they were cutting stuff out and coloring things, it was actually shocking to me how much of a difference it made for their ability to remember things. I was working in a high stress teaching situation with a broad range of abilities within my classroom, and these kind of gave my students the opportunity and gave me the opportunity to adjust as needed for the ability levels. So for some of my students, I would give them the information already on here when they were cutting it out, so all they'd have to do is read it and remember it. For some of my students, it was fully blank and they had to go research it themselves. Entirely up to you how you do it. A lot of them, I tried it as centers. That worked really well. I've done some of them as group work. I've done some of it as fully homework, send home, bring back as test prep. So when you're done your unit, you go through and fill in all the information. They send it home as their study for their final exam. I've done open book tests with them. They're very adaptable to whatever it is you need for your classroom and their ability levels, which is why they saved my life. I've also done a couple that are just tools for teachers. There's a substitute teacher folder, so you can just put in all the information you need for your substitute. There's a bunch of little picture things that go in there for your students, your class plans. All of that can go into here and you just hand it to your sub. I subbed for 6 years and man, I wish I had one of these. And then a discipline school life pack. This is a discipline strategy that we used when I was working at the other school where I don't work now. And it was a point system. So based on their behavior, their points they'd be given a certain number of points and they would need to complete those points. So 50-point activities would go in here. You just write in different things that were 50-point activities, 25 points, 100 points, 200 points. And so if they were given 500 points that they needed to do, they could pick whatever activities they wanted to do out of here to complete their 500 points. So it would be like memorizing their spelling words or writing a write-up on a paper on a book they read, or anything, writing out pages of the dictionary. It doesn't matter what it is, entirely up to you. It could be the spelling words. So you put the different supplies that they need in there to accomplish those tasks, and then the stuff they finish there So if you're sending them for to be in a different classroom, or however you want to use this, I've had parents use this outside of the classrooms as well. It works pretty good, actually. So those are Lapbooks. They are complete units in one book. So all the curriculum points for a specific point or specific unit will be completed in this. So you will know without question that you have met all the curriculum requirements by completing one of these, which was what was part of my motivation. I needed to know that I had done everything I needed to do. So that's where they come from, and that's what motivated their creation. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little more clarity on what it is that they are and what I do in my, spare time. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to send me a Facebook message. I just did a video chat with a teacher yesterday, and it was actually really neat to kind of hear her perspective on them and questions she had, and just to know how I can better help you guys as you're using them. Happy lapbooking, everyone. Thanks again.